Hello, good morning, and welcome to Green Lambkin Podcast. My name is Suzanne. I am Green Lambkin on Instagram and Ravelry, and I am Green Lambkin Yarn on Facebook and Instagram. No, I'm not. Facebook and Etsy, sorry. Good morning, my name is Suzanne. Welcome. If you're returning, thank you very much for coming back. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Welcome. A very warm welcome to you, and I hope you enjoy what you find here. It's mostly me bibbling on about the things I knit and crochet and the yarn that I dye and the patterns that I'm designing. So I hope you enjoy that. I'm based in Chesterfield in Derbyshire in the UK. I've got 2 little children and I'm married and I have a day job as well. So busy person, but I enjoy being busy, so that's very good. Having a sip of coffee. So, where shall I start this week? Let me go straight into finished objects. I think last time I podcasted, I was working on a top for Ivy's, that's my daughter, Our Generation dolly, which she just got, and it came with a Christmas outfit. Which was a bit posh for everyday wear, so I started knitting her some stuff, and I have finished this. This is Holly Hope. Say hello, Holly. Hello. I told you I'm mad. So this is her top, and this is knitted in Opal Sparkle Sock yarn. It's the Ready for Spring top by Christine Moore, that's M-A-W, and it's available for free on Ravelry. And this top, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. It has a button loop at the top. That's the only thing I'd change about it. In future I would just make a hole there like all the others, but I love the way the sleeves look with their little puffed sleeve, and it's just got a garter stitch edging on the sleeve to match the yoke, and then on the bottom I changed it slightly because I think the pattern called for a picot cast off, but I actually did the kind of picot edging where you knit a row of rapid yarn over, knit 2 togethers, and then you do a couple of rows afterwards, and it creates a really nice hem. You slip it up afterwards and it just looks really finished, and I thought that might be better because I didn't want the hem of this top to curl up, and I thought that would prevent that from happening. And then I made her a skirt to coordinate. If I just lift the top up a bit, Holly. Oh, it's a bit high actually. Hang on a minute. Look like a child's dressed you. That's probably because she has. This skirt that goes with it is the Flouncy skirt by Christine Rennicker, and I made this in Cascade 220 Peruvian Highland wool, so that was a bit of a quicker knit, but the finishing again on this is really nice. So I blocked this out, so it's got this lacy flounce. You knit from the waistband down to here on a smaller needle, and then you go onto the bigger needle, which helps to create this flouncy sort of peplum-y effect. And then the waistband, if I can just show you. This isn't very good really, is it? I should just take it off. Sorry, Holly. Don't worry, I won't show everybody your knickers. Pull them up though. Right, here we go. So there are side increases. I changed the increases. They were strange right leaning and left leaning increases, and I didn't like the way they were looking, so I just went for my normal increases, and I think they look fine. And the waistband is created by the process of knitting so many rounds, casting on, knitting so many rounds, and then doing a purl ridge, and then knitting so many more rounds, and then knitting a final round where you actually put your needle through the loop of the cast on edge and knit it together with the stitch. And you did that for all of except the last 8 stitches, and then that's there. And then after the skirt was cast off, no, I did the elastic first. There's some 1/2 inch elastic inside here which makes it stay up really well. and then you just, once you've put the elastic in, you just slip stitch those last 8 stitches up. And I'm really pleased with the way this looks. I will be doing this again in other colours. So Holly Hope has an outfit, and I have to admit that knitting these dolly clothes is extremely addictive. I knew I'd enjoy it. She looks so smart in this outfit. Let me put her down here and say bye bye, Holly. Bye. Yes, I'm very much enjoying knitting for that little dolly, and Ivy is very much enjoying me doing it, so that's a win-win situation. It has distracted me a little bit from the other things I wanted to do, but hey ho, it's only knitting. Okay, onwards. I have a half object. I believe I showed you last time that I was working on these Christmas socks for Miss Ivy, and this is the West Yorkshire Spinning Signature 4-ply in the bright pink colour. It's one of the Sweetie range, I can't remember what it's called, and this is my Candy Cane Forest yarn. It's my typical construction of sock with a slip stitch heel flap, rounded heel turn, standard gusset decreases, and a double decrease toe, finished with Kitchener stitch. Yeah. So finished the first sock. I'm not sure if I might have shown you that was finished last time. Anyway, never mind. If I did, never mind. You'll forgive me, won't you? You know I'm a forgetful fool. Oh dear, I'm all tangled up. What's going on here? This doesn't look good, does it? This is just the end. That's good. So I have now knitted the cuff and the teeniest little soupçon, a mere soupçon of sock. So that's going to be something. We're actually off on our holiday next week, so that's one of the projects that I'm going to be taking with me. So not a lot of progress to show on that really, but it's still a work in progress. It's been a little neglected because I've been working on something else, which I will show you now. I only have two works in progress, that one and this one. And I feel I'm on a bit of a tight schedule for this because little Miss Ivy has decided to impose a deadline on me. So I am now knitting a summer dress for Miss Holly Hope, and it's nearly finished. This is knitted in opal yarn again. This is just from our local yarn shop, which is the Wool Cabin in our market hall. It does carry a rather pleasant range of sock yarn from time to time, and I went in specifically looking for some to knit a dress for this dolly, and I found this one, and I thought, well, that's very beachy and summery. So I got that, and this is the Night in October dress by Elaine Phillips, and it's similar. It's a different construction to the top in that it's a sort of a top-down raglan shaping. The other one had increases in the yoke. So it's got a tiny little garter stitch edging on the neckline. It has a welt at the back, which is totally curled in, and all these whole sleeves on stitches are getting in the way. Sleeves on waist yarn, I mean. But there's a very nice little finishing touch down here at the bottom where the stitches overlap at the base of the welt, and this is just going to have some if I can find them, my mum found me some in her sewing room, some of these little clear plastic poppers in the welt, so nothing fancy there. So I've got a few more rounds of the skirt part of the dress to do, and then the edging, which is just going to be a garter stitch edging, I think. And then I have to pick up and knit the sleeves, but I'm only going to do a little capped sleeve, and then press it, put the poppers on, and it will be done. And the reason I have a deadline is because Ivy says that it's Holly Hope's birthday on Monday the 29th, which is when we're on holiday. So I've got to get it done by then, so that she can, before Saturday when we go away, so she can wrap it up and take it with her. But it's all right. I like to indulge these little whims, and I'm enjoying doing it, as I say. I'm going to have a break from dolly knitting after I finish this dress, however. Ivy doesn't know, but I've bought the doll a pair of pumps to go with it. I think I'm enjoying this dolly more than Ivy is. And I thought I'll wrap that up and take it, and she can give her those for her birthday as well. So next week I won't podcast probably. I might do a couple of little in the field mini episodes to show you what I'm working on whilst I'm on holiday, but I won't be doing a full podcast. So, as I say, I'm going to be having a little break after that. So I'm going to do and move away from dolly clothes for a little while. I'm going to do, I was going to do coming up next, but I'm going to swap it around. I'm going to do new acquisitions first. I went for a business meeting, which I'm going to tell you about in a little bit, with a collaboration with Carrie from Peak District Yarns and Annie from Wild Spinster. And we met at Wise Heart Studio in Whaley Bridge, and I had a voucher. And whilst I was there, I looked for something for a coat for Miss Holly Hope, because we've seen a duffel coat. I've already got the tiny little wooden toggles for it. And Ivy said she would like a turquoise coat for Holly Hope. So whilst I was there, I spent my voucher, took advantage, and I bought 2 balls of this Navia 100% pure wool Faroe Island yarn. And apart from the colour and the feel of it, what I really like about it is the texture. It's quite it feels almost a little bit felty, and I like that because it's going to be for a little coat. I thought that would work quite well. Now that the needle, it says it's about a worsted weight really, because it's asking for a 4.5mm needle. However, yes, it's 50 grams, so I got 2 balls. But because I want it to be a coat and I want it to feel quite tightly knit and dense, I thought, well, this will be fine because I'll use a smaller needle and that will create that. It'll probably also create a blooming repetitive strain injury for me, but I do it all for my art, darlings. The wool mixture is Faroese wool, Shetland wool and Australian lamb's wool, and the colour is 322, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. So Ivy's asked for this duffel coat with a hood, and it's a bit like a swing coat type of shape, and she's also said she would like some pink flowers on it, so I'm only too happy to oblige. I'll tell you about the pattern I'm going to use for that nearer the time, but I'm planning on knitting that for around October. That's when Ivy's birthday is, and I thought I'd make a cheap and pleasant birthday present for her, so. That's good. What else? Oh, yes. I was a little bit naughty, but I saw these on Instagram and I just thought they were the most adorable thing. So I messaged to the lovely maker, who is Sophie Newey from Pixie Yarn, and I treated myself. And this is my little holiday knitting bag, and it's all prepped. Well, it's got the yarn in it for the projects I'm going to take with me on holiday, and it's yet waiting for its needles and other accoutrements, but the yarn is in there, and it's a patchwork project bag. Look at Mr. Sun. Oh, let me open it up so that you can see all the designs. Oopsie daisy, I didn't mean to do that. All the designs properly. Zebra, cat faces, ponies, flowers, butterflies, kittens, another sunshine, strawberries, bulrushes, birdies, what else? Oh, so pretty. I just thought the fabrics were gorgeous, and it has a denim base which comes just up here. I really like that, and it's also lined with a sturdy natural coloured calico, and the drawstrings are this natural cotton cord. It's just beautifully made. I'm just so pleased. What a beautiful standard. And I have Sophie's card, and it's absolutely adorable. Just look at this. It's got a tiny little knitted sample on it. I believe that the company is Pixie Yarn, so I believe she dyes as well, although I haven't seen any in a shop just now. It's mainly handmade project bags, which are gorgeous. So it's pixieyarn.co.uk and Pixie Yarns with an S on the end on Etsy. I'll hold that up for you again. So Sophie was really, really fast and really thorough, and got it made up and sent to me in absolutely no time at all. She did offer me extra features inside, like internal pockets and yarn guides and things like that, but I'm really, really not that kind of a person. I tend to have in most of my bags these days, for the sake of saving me frustration at my disorganised state, these little purses with little mini knit kits inside them. So just the odd bits and bobs, the needle, the markers, the scissors and things. So I don't really need an internal pouch because pocket, because I always have those with me anyway. And yarn guides, again, I don't do that. What I tend to do is what I think a lot of people do. If I'm knitting from the bag, I turn the top down like that to make it into a bit of a bowl, and that works just fine. So, what's in here? What's in here? What's in here? Well, for a start, I have 2 skeins of yarn caked up ready, my yarn. Now the first one is a new colour, which I said I was going to show you this time round. I dyed it for the Yarn Shop Day event that I did a couple of weeks ago, and it's called Baby Beetroots. So this is it in the cake, and this is on the Stellina base. Absolutely adore this colour. It's so me, it's ridiculous. And I'm planning to design a cowl. A cowl of some description. I've got some ideas about it, but I'm not 100% sure what it's going to look like yet. But I'm just going to stick the needles and a notepad and any other bits and bobs that I might need into the bag, and if inspiration strikes me whilst I'm away, I can get going. So that's that. And then the other yarn which is in here is quite special actually. My friend Disa, my lovely, lovely friend Disa of Disa's Craftwork podcast, I believe she's based in Sweden, and she's a very lovely lady who has some health issues, and needs to wear hand warmers to keep her wrists warm because she has a lot of pain in her joints, and keeping them warm helps to minimise that pain. So even in summer, she always wears wrist warmers. On her last podcast, she was saying how she's getting running low because wearing them all the time, she tends to wear holes in them and they get worn out. And she needs a few pairs so she can wash them and have plenty of choice. So I messaged her and said, can you send me the pattern that you use for your wrist warmers? Because I would really like to make a pair for you. Thought they'll knit up really quickly, and I would happily add to her collection if it gives her some comfort, because I like to help. So she told me a little breakdown of how she makes, so it's not a pattern so much as just a recipe. And then we were talking about colours. She told me her favourite colours were greens and things, and then the following day she'd been out for a walk and she sent me the most amazing picture of a big rock with moss growing all over it, and she said basically this is my favourite sort of range of colours. And then I just thought, oh, I've got to do it, I've got to dye some, because I can make her, if I can get a yarn that looks like that picture, they'll be ideal. So I made a new colourway, and it's called Thesis Dream, and this is it caked up. And the colour's blowing out a little bit. That's a bit better. The yellows aren't showing as well. Lots of olives, mossy greens. I'm not sure. It's darker than it's showing here, a little bit darker, a little bit richer. But it has all of these sort of subtle variegations of mossy green colours in it. So they're going on holiday with me. They're all in their little bag, feeling cosy. Very excited. So I'm going to pop the needles and things in there in a bit so that I can just grab it. And on the way, I'm going to cast on Deesa's wrist warmers first. I like to get them done quite quickly. So that's new acquisitions. And what's coming up next as well. So on to shop update, because I have some nice new yarns which I'm going to be photographing after I finish this podcast. And they're going to be going in the shop hopefully this afternoon. So let me show you quickly. We have baby beetroot, so this is what it looks before it's been wound. Plums, black, ruby red, raspberry red, really, really bright cerise pink, a bit brighter than, oh, no, that's not bad actually. It's quite good. All intermingling together. I love it. So much. Really, really happy with that. So there are going to be 2 skeins of this going into the shop. There are going to be 2 skeins. Oh, it shows better in the skein, look. It's because it's more of a flat surface than a round surface, and the light is refracting from it in a different way, isn't it? So this is Thesis Dream. So you can see these patches of that's some kind of metallic deposits that come out of the stone. Can't remember what it's called, but that's what that's meant to resemble. So going from dark greens and greys through lime green and into lemon, and then these browns, and actually some tiny touches of black, which I only put tiny drops of black in there just to bring some of the colours down, so it's not overtly black in your face. Whoa, I'm black. It's just little speckles and changes in tonality. So that's Thesis Dream. And that's not on the sparkle base, I meant to say, that's just on the 75-25 sock base. On the same base again is Captain Cosmo. Now this was another colourway I told you about last week but sold out of. So this is Captain Cosmo. Orange, brown and cyan blue. All intermingled and looking lovely. So I have 2 of those to go in the shop. This is a new one I'm very excited about. I wanted to do something which was a lot more, less overall colour, let's put it that way, with just splashes of colour which speckle about in the yarn as you knit with it. So this is Samhain Sprinkles. Now some of you might not know what on earth Samhain is, and it's the pagan festival of Halloween. Well, similar to Halloween. It's the 31st of October. It's spelt Samhain but said Samhain or Samhain. And the colours in this are autumn gold, burnt orange. They're not showing up with as much contrast there. That's autumn gold and that bit's burnt orange. And then a small amount of silver grey and this absolutely gorgeous, new to me colour, which is purple. So I'm really looking forward to knitting myself a pair of socks in this, and seeing if I've achieved the right effect but these two are definitely going in the shop. And again, this is the 75/25 buttery soft sock yarn. I have some silver linings. You know what that is, you've seen it before. We have all the lovely bits of rainbow poking through and the silver. Now at the moment I only have one skein. I was dying for and begging up 3 of them. So they got over dyed, and I'm going to show you in a minute. So at the moment I only have one, but I'm going to be dyeing some more hopefully either tonight or tomorrow night. So they will go in the shop too. And then the other 3, which I messed with, because I was tired. Basically, try not dyeing when you're tired, Suzanne. It usually works, but needs must. I needed to get it done, and I ended up contaminating the grey parts with the colours, and it went all horrible and muddy. So I over dyed it, and I'm thinking of this as a rainforest colour. So it's similar. It reminds me of Vintage Shinies, my other Christmas colourway, but the blue, the greens in here are much bluer, and then there's undertones of the grey as well. So it's not the same, and the repeats of the colours aren't the same either. So it won't look the same as Vintage Shinies when it's knitted up, but it just sort of reminds me of that as it sits in the skein. So I'm calling this Rainforest, and so it's going to be a one of a kind. There's 3 going in the shop, but I think it's a lovely colour, so I'm really happy with that. And I've done that one. Oh yes, you can just see it's sparkling a little bit. That's on the Stellina Sparkle base. So they're all going in the Ravelry shop. Excuse me. And very excitingly, I've got my first pattern for sale in Ravelry. So here it is. This is the Wingardium Leviosa sock. I promised you it was going to come up at some point. So it's a 2-sided PDF pattern. You can, I had some printed off to sell in the shops, and you can download it and use it as an electronic copy or a hard copy, whichever you prefer. So it's available in Ravelry, in the Green Lambkin Ravelry store right now. In other pattern news, the shawl which I knitted out of my Cobweb and Bramble colourways, which I showed you the other week, I've written that up, and that is currently with a lovely test knitter called Faye. Faye's working her way through that, and hopefully she will complete it quite quickly, and will get back to me to let me know if I need to make any changes. Then that's going to be written up nicely by my lovely husband, who does the graphics for me. And that'll be available in the shop as well, as will the squirrel mitts. So things are all afoot. And then hopefully come winter time, the cowl as well. And the shawl pattern, I struggled with a name for it, and then all of a sudden it just came to me in a flash, just like that. And it's called the Witching Hour shawl. So the Witching Hour shawl will be coming to you soon. Watch this space. And last of all, I want to talk to you about a little initiative that I'm a part of. I told you that I went to meet with Carrie and Annie of Peak District Yarns and Wild Spinster, respectively, at the weekend, and we have set up as a little dyeing collective. So we are now collectively known as the Derbyshire Dyers, and we are looking for other local dyers who might be interested in taking part in this as well. So if you are one or you know anyone, let me know. So we're going to be holding monthly market nights. They're going to be on the last Sunday of every month. So the first one is going to be the last Sunday in June at, I think, 8 p.m. But I'll double check. You can find us on Facebook already. There will be an Instagram feed for us as well, which is really exciting. And each month we're going to assign ourselves a theme. And we thought we'd better go for something Derbyshire-y with it being the first one. So the theme for the first market night is Bess of Hardwick, who is an amazing character, a lady who owned and lived in Hardwick Hall, which is in northeast Derbyshire. It's a National Trust property, and if you ever get a chance to visit, I would highly recommend it. It's beautiful, the gardens are fantastic, and there's a lady who dresses up in costume as Bess of Hardwick and gives guided tours of the hall in character. She was a very inimitable woman, I believe, really strong-minded. Well, she was very high up in the gentry list. She was very close to royalty and very influential. So yes, she is going to be the inspiration for the colours that we dye for the first market night. So please follow us on Facebook and Instagram once that's up and running. And we'll be sharing lots of information as we go along about what we're going to be, going to start showing the yarns and things as we're going along. So that's Derbyshire Dyers, and at the moment that's me and Annie from Wild Spinster and Carrie from Peak District Yarns. So I'm really excited about that. As soon as I get back from holiday, I'm going to start getting my dye head on and thinking about my colourways. And I'm very lucky that we visit there very regularly, because Ivy and Cosmo both absolutely love going to Hardwick. So we'll go there and we'll visit, and I will look at it with fresh eyes and look around me for yarn colourways. I'm really excited about it. I love a challenge like this. I really like it when I get a brief and I think, oh, okay, let me try this then. So the colourways that we dye, I believe, are going to be limited to the market night only. So it's going to be a come and get them if you want them kind of a situation. And I think that's all I've got to tell you about at the moment. But obviously, as it develops, I will tell you more information. Yes, that's everything on my list. So, general bibbling about life. It's a beautiful day here today, and I'm trying to get mountains of laundry washed and dried whilst it's nice, because as I said, we're going on holiday and I'm trying to get all of the nice clothes ready so that I can pack them. So that's my job for the rest of today, along with listing my yarn in the shop. We're going to North Wales for a week, and it's staying near Carnarvon next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to the same place we went to last year, and my parents-in-law are coming with us for some of the week, so the kids will absolutely love that. I think we'll have a lovely time. Fingers crossed for the weather, everybody. And hopefully there's going to be some more craft events where I'm going to be having a stall in my not too distant future, so watch this space for that as well. I'm really hoping that that these things keep coming, because I enjoyed doing local yarn shop day so much. It was so lovely, sort of interacting face to face with customers, and it made me feel so fantastic seeing them buying my yarn and things, so I'm hoping to do more of that in the future. I start my new job this week on Wednesday, so I'm really excited about that. My lovely colleagues from my substantive post, the job, because I'm going for a secondment, so the lovely people in my old team bought me a gorgeous big bunch of flowers. It's got stargazer lilies in it, which smell absolutely fantastic, so I'm sniffing them as we speak. And apart from that, it's all been a little bit dull and normal, really. So I think on that note, I will say ta-ta for now. I may see you next week if I get a snippet of a chance to record a little mini podcast for you whilst we're away. I will. But if not, I will see you the following Monday, and hopefully I'll have lots of lovely knitting to share, one would hope. Okay, I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.